Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great-Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Willard Waterman starring as the Great-Gildersleeve, going back to April 16th, 1952. And Leroy had a pig. Now Leroy's dealing with bees.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great-Gildersleeve. Well, it's spring, the season when enterprising young fellows like Leroy are busy lining up work for the summer. It's also the season when enterprising older fellows like the Great-Gildersleeve wish they didn't have to work.
Oh, what a balmy day. Right, George, I've got a good notion to take off and go to the baseball game.
Well, shouldn't you be at the water department, Unky?
Well, Marjorie, I might just send the mayor a telegram saying I've gone to visit my sick grandmother.
What if the mayor happens to go to the game?
We'll just sit together and talk about our sick grandmothers.
Oh, Unky.
Yeah, I think I'll go to the game and take Paula. She likes baseball. Yeah, I'll run across the street and ask her if she'd like to go this afternoon.
I doubt if she'll give you a date after you stood her up the other night.
Marjorie, I didn't stand her up. I had a good reason for not filling my engagement with Paula.
She said it was a very silly excuse.
What's so silly about staying out at the reservoir all night fixing a snifter valve?
Well, it sounds a little lame to a woman.
Well, you can't expect a woman to know anything about a snifter valve.
Hi, Bertie.
Hello, Leroy.
Is Unc still home?
He's with Miss Marjorie.
Thanks. Unc! Oh, Unc!
In the parlor, Leroy.
Unc, I got my summer job lined up.
Summer job?
And you got to promise you'll let me do it.
What are you going to do, Leroy?
Yes, before I promise, what is the job?
Working at the bowling alley.
What?
Yeah, 50 cents an hour for setting pins.
Leroy, you can't take that job. Setting pins is dangerous. I know. The judge and I used to bowl.
But everybody isn't as wild as you and the judge.
Well, I'm not going to have you standing at the end of an alley with people throwing balls at you.
Heavens, no. What a ridiculous way to spend the summer.
Let me do it, Unc. It'll keep me off the streets.
I'd rather have you on the streets than in the alleys.
It's good money. Let me do it, Unc.
No.
I'll even let you off the hook. You won't have to pay me my allowance.
No.
Oh, Unc, a guy has to have some money. I gotta do something.
My boy, I think it's fine that you want to work. I don't want to discourage you. Find some way to make money at home.
Like what? When I got my allowance up to 75 cents, I figured I'd hit the top at home.
Leroy, when I say work, I don't mean work me. When I was a boy, I wasn't so interested in working for somebody else as I was starting a business of my own.
How'd you get sidetracked?
What do you mean?
Well, now you work for everybody who wants to take a bath or a drink of water.
Well, at least I'm the head of the water department. What you want to do is head up your own business. Start something here in the neighborhood.
Like what?
Well, you could mow lawns, Leroy, or have a lemonade stand.
Lemonade stand. And muscle in on the 6-year-olds?
Well, when I was your age, I had a garden and sold vegetables. Another year, I raised rabbits.
There's no money in rabbits now. Easter's over.
If you set your mind to it, my boy, there are plenty of things to do. Just to start you off, I'll set you up in business.
Keen, what kind of business?
Well, that's up to you. I'll give you $5 to invest any way you see fit.
Oh, boy, $5?
Of course, it has to be a home project. And I'll give you complete use of the backyard from the clothesline to the incinerator.
You mean it, Unc?
You bet. Here's the $5.
Hey, I'm a success. I got money and property. Now I don't have to work.
Leroy.
Only kidding, Unc.
4, 5, 6. Half a dozen roses should help win Paula over. She doesn't have to know I picked them in her front yard. Here's a bold thing for you to do, Gildersleeve. Now I know it's spring. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies.
Why, Throckmorton.
Yeah, it's me. How are you, Paula? May I come in?
I don't know.
I have roses for you.
They're lovely. I didn't know you had roses.
Well, I have good contacts.
You can come in for a minute.
How about 6 minutes? I have 6 roses.
Oh, come in, Throckmorton. I can't be angry with you.
You've no reason to be angry with me, Paula. I wouldn't have broken the date with you for anything but a snifter valve.
Oh, did that burn me up? Whoever heard of a snifter valve?
Oh, Paula. How about declaring a truce and going to the baseball game this afternoon?
I don't know if I should give you another date.
Even an afternoon date? To go to a baseball game?
Oh, really, I can't go this afternoon.
Okay, tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon?
Well...
The next day?
Well, wait a minute. I haven't decided about tomorrow yet.
Oh, say you'll go.
All right, we'll go tomorrow.
Great.
But it's only a great love that makes me say yes.
Paula, you mean that?
I love baseball.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, everybody. I'm home.
Oh, hello, Unky.
Well, Marjorie, have a nice day?
Uh-huh. Did you go to the baseball game this afternoon?
No, couldn't talk Paula into it today. But we're going tomorrow. Besides, I decided I shouldn't take off on a working day.
Oh?
So I stayed at the office and listened to the game on the radio. Leroy here?
Well, I haven't seen him since he left home this morning with your $5.
It doesn't usually take Leroy all day to spend $5.
I guess he's looking for a business venture.
Miss Gildy,
Yes, Bertie?
if you're looking for Leroy, he just came in the driveway pushing a wheelbarrow.
Hey, come on, Marjorie. You wonder what he's doing with the wheelbarrow.
He's taking a big white box out in the backyard.
Well, he's bought something. Let's go see what it is.
Bertie's got to see this, too.
What could he be keeping in a box?
Oh, could be a number of things. Guinea pigs, pigeons.
Hi, everybody.
Well, Leroy, what do you have in the box?
Put your ear down there and see if you can guess.
Well, all right.
Get closer.
Leroy. Do I hear bees?
Bees? Bees? Yeah, bees.
There's bees, all right. Take a listen, Marjorie.
No, thanks.
Bertie, take a... Where is she?
I'm over here behind this tree.
They won't hurt you, Bertie. You can make pets out of them.
No, sir. Bertie ain't petting no bees.
Look, I got a book on them. It says here, every successful beekeeper, that's me, develops a strong affection for the busy little creatures.
Does it really say that, Leroy?
Yeah.
Uncle Mort, make Leroy get rid of these bees.
Marge, they won't hurt anything out here in the yard.
How's Bertie going to hang clothes on the line with bees buzzing all around?
Bertie, come out from behind that tree.
No, sir. One thing a bee can't do is see around the corner. Bertie's staying right here.
Leroy, why do you want to keep bees?
Well,
Anybody keeps bees is going to find it hard to keep Bertie.
Unky, you'll have to do something.
gosh, you're just keeping a little kid from making big money.
Well, Marjorie, Bertie, perhaps we should give the bees a chance. Learn a little more about them. I'm sure we'll get along together. Let's see the book, Leroy.
Okay.
What's this? The Business End of Bees.
That does it. Bertie don't want no part of the business end of no bees.
Bertie, how do you feel about bees this morning?
Well, I'll tell you this, Leroy. I ain't been out there this morning shaking hands with them.
I warn you, Leroy, when Uncle Mort comes down to breakfast, I'm going to have another talk with him.
But, Marge, if you'd read the book, you'd see there's nothing to be afraid of. All you gotta do is get acquainted with them.
Oh, fine.
And learn their ways. They'll like you if you don't do the things they resent. Listen to what it says. Here. You're okay if you don't wear dark clothes around bees. That makes them mad.
Well, they always sound mad to me.
Nah, most of the time they just buzz for fun. Another thing the book says, when a bee comes home loaded with honey, don't stand in their line of flight.
What happens if you do?
You get stung, naturally. And the thing that makes them maddest is when you spy on them. They don't want you lifting the lid of their hive and looking inside.
Good morning, little family.
Hi, Unc.
Good morning, Miss Gildersleeve.
Well, nice day for the ball game.
Yeah.
Shall I start your eggs, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie, thank you. And while Bertie's fixing breakfast, Leroy, let's bounce out and say hello to the bees.
Sure. Uncle Mort, you better not wear that blue serge suit.
Why not? It's good enough for the ball game. It's good enough for the bees.
All right, good luck.
Dark clothes make them excited, Unc.
Oh, that's silly. Why should a bee care what I wear?
Hey, look! Some of them are buzzing around the flowers already.
Yes, indeed. Look at the happy little fellows. They're working for you, Leroy.
Boy, oh boy. They make the honey and I make the money.
Well, let's see what goes on here.
Unc, you think you ought to peep through the slot like that?
Leroy, I'm getting acquainted with the little fellows.
Well, if one makes a beeline home, you'll get acquainted all right.
Leroy, I know a thing or two about bees. Basically, they're a man's friend. The only insect that provides a portion of man's food.
That's the part I like about them.
We can learn a lot from bees, my boy. They have a wonderful system of government. They learn to live and work together in harmony. It's something people haven't learned to do yet. I think I'll lift the lid.
You're not supposed to lift the lid of the hive, Unc. They really resent that.
I just want to see what they're doing. Well, look at that industry. It's inspiring. Right, George, Leroy, this is the finest project you ever had. Leroy, where are you?
Behind the tree.
Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. Hello, little bees. Bees. Now, watch it, bees. Bees, settle down. Stay in there. Oh! Bertie! Marjorie! Somebody, open the door!
Door's open!
Just in time.
Are you okay, Unc?
Leroy, those bees have got to go.
April 16th, 1952, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Willard Waterman is The Great Gildersleeve, April 16th, 1952.
The great Gildersleeve gave his nephew Leroy $5 to invest in a business, and Leroy came home with a colony of bees. Well, let's take it from there.
Leroy, why did you have to bring home a swarm of bees?
Now, Unc, you said I could invest the money any way I wanted to.
Well, when they chased me in the house, I suddenly changed my mind.
I told you they'd resent it when you lifted the lid off their hive.
I was just trying to be sociable. Ungrateful little demons.
Well, you're the only ones they seem to bother, Unky.
Have you been out in the backyard, Marjorie?
Of course. The bees and I seem to get along fine.
That's strange.
They were too busy gathering honey to pay any attention to me.
Now, you see how harmless they are, Unc?
Leroy, anything that carries a concealed weapon isn't considered harmless.
Bertie didn't like them bees at first, but she ain't got nothing against them anymore.
Oh?
They didn't bother me when I hung out the clothes.
You see, Unc?
All right, but they'll turn on you sooner or later. Thank goodness I don't have to stay around the house all day. I can go to the office and get away from them, and that's where I'm going.
Goodbye, Unky.
So long, Unc.
Goodbye. Oh, perfect day for baseball. Well, I'll get a little work done at the office, then drop back for Paula. What's that? Bee? Where are you? Whoop! Right over my head. Hope I can make it back inside. Made it.
What happened, Unky?
Marjorie, you know that fool bee was waiting outside for me?
That must have been a sentinel, Unc.
A sentinel?
Yeah, the book says if bees don't like you, they'll guard a house for 24 hours waiting for you to come out.
Oh, my goodness. That one certainly wanted to get at me.
Yeah. Now he's even ringing the doorbell.
Oh, Leroy.
Yeah, perhaps you'd better, Bertie.
Morning, Bertie. Morning, Judge Hooker.
You see, Unc, the bees didn't bother the judge.
Well, I guess bees don't bother old goats.
What's this, Gildy?
Hello, Judge.
Leroy has a swarm of bees, Judge.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, Aunt Marge. Let's go out and water them.
All right.
Why don't you let the water commissioner water them?
Judge, those confounded bees won't let me out of the house.
They won't.
No, Unc's a prisoner. Come on, Marge.
I have a date to take Paula to the baseball game this afternoon, but now I don't know if I can get out.
Timid beekeepers often wear a net.
I don't have a net.
Well, you're a city official. Why don't you borrow a net from the dog catcher?
Yeah.
Only kidding, only kidding. But I do know that bees are controlled by smoke.
They are?
Yeah, it confuses them when you blow smoke into the hive.
Judge, this bee is guarding the door.
Well, herd him into the hive and blow smoke into it.
How do you herd a bee into a hive?
That's your problem.
Yes. Yeah, I had to break a date with Paula last week. If I don't show up this afternoon, it's curtains. She'll never want to see me again.
Why don't you and Paula call it off? You're both going to get stung.
What do you mean?
Well, if you step out the door, you get stung. And she steps out with you, she gets stung.
Judge, a fellow who calls himself a lawyer should have some constructive suggestion.
Well, if you're calling upon my legal talents, I could get an injunction against the bee.
An injunction, Judge?
To prohibit the culprit from picketing your property. And should he sting you, we have him on a charge of illegal entry.
Silly old coot.
Well, I must be on my way, Gildy. Now, if the bee continues to annoy you, just give me a buzz, and I'll have Chief Gates put him in jail.
I don't have to give you a buzz. You've got one in your bonnet. Well, it's high noon. I wonder if those bees knocked off for lunch. I think I'll take a peek out the door. Coast seems to be clear. No, you don't! He was above the door all the time, pretending he was a nailhead. What a sneaky bee.
Can't you get out yet, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, not a chance, Bertie.
No, sir.
Bertie, this is funny?
No, sir.
Well, I guess it's funny to people who are on friendly terms with bees. Yeah, I'll get it, Bertie. It must be Peavy with my cigars.
Watch out for the bee!
I'm prepared this time. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Come in.
Do you always threaten your callers with a broom?
This is for the bees, Peavy.
How's that?
I irritated Leroy's swarm of bees, and they won't let me out of the house. That's why I asked you to bring the cigars.
My. Perhaps I should have brought a whole box. You could be here for a week.
Peavy, I've got to get out this afternoon. I'm taking Paula to the baseball game.
Well, I'll be watching it on television. I get pretty excited about baseball at times.
You do?
I was watching the game yesterday on the set in the store. Fella took a long lead off of second base, and I threw a glass through a showcase trying to pick him off.
Peavy, you sound like an old baseball player.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I was one of the best players the Apple River Paddywhacks ever had. I was a catcher from way back.
Oh?
I caught everything that came my way until I had to give up baseball to go to work. That's when I caught Mrs. Peavy.
Peavy, this isn't helping me get out of the house. Do you know anything about bees?
Well, I know they make fairly good honey.
But do you have any idea about how to keep them from attacking you?
They didn't attack me.
I know that. I'm the one they're after. Every time I stick my head out of the door, the guard sounds the alarm, and the whole swarm come flying at me like a charge of buckshot.
Well, have you thought of disguising yourself, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Disguising myself?
Why don't you try putting on my hat and going outside? They may think you're me returning to the drugstore.
Say, that's a wonderful idea.
I think so.
April 16th, 1952, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these important messages from your favorite radio station. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Great Gildersleeve, April 16th, 1952, where Peavy the druggist was saying,
Why don't you try putting on my hat and going outside? They may think you're me returning to the drugstore.
Say, that's a wonderful idea.
I think so.
But I think a better test would be for you to step outside wearing my hat.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
If you're going to take Paula to the baseball game this afternoon, you better get started.
I can't, Marcia. Those bees are still out there.
Mr. Peavy's idea didn't work, Honk.
No. They knew I was the same man wearing a funny hat.
Well, I think it's perfectly ridiculous for a big grown man to be afraid to step out of the house.
Well, I could take one sting, but how do I know the whole swarm won't be after me again?
Try it and let's find out.
Leroy.
Well, Unky, you better call your date and tell her you can't come over because you're afraid of a bee.
I can't tell her that, Marjorie. Last week she thought it silly because I didn't show up because of a snifter valve. She never believed this bee story.
Leroy, can't you call your bees off, Unky?
If I could, I would. I don't like this situation any better than Unc does. I'm losing money. That bee guard in the door hasn't done a lick of work all day.
I'm right by the phone, Bertie. Hello? Oh, it's you, Paula.
There's your girl, Unc.
Yeah, I know, Leroy.
Oh, no, Unky hasn't forgotten you. He's been standing at the door for the past hour. Sounds a little upset, Unky. Do you want to talk to her?
You tell her I'll be right over.
He says he'll be right over, Paula. Bye.
You gonna make a run for it, Unc?
You bet. I'd rather face an angry bee than an angry woman.
Okay, here's your hat.
Don't push me, Leroy. Now, I'll just pull my coat over my head.
Yeah. You can see where you're going by looking through a buttonhole.
All right. Just hold the door open.
Goodbye, Unky.
Door's open.
Here I go. Phew, I'm glad there's no traffic in the street. I'd hate to have to hurdle the car. I'd have... Hey, I made it. No sign of the bees. By George, I outsmarted them. Yeah, I'll bet that bee is still hanging around my porch wondering what happened. Stupid little fellow. Oh! He got me! Paula, open the door!
Throckmorton, what are you
He got me! He got me! He got me!
Oh, God.
The bee right in the back of the neck.
Oh, come in.
Yeah, I know you'll think this is silly making a fuss about a bee.
Oh, I don't think it's silly at all.
Oh, darn bee followed me clear across the street and ambushed me from behind.
Oh. Now sit down and loosen your collar.
Thank you, Paula.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, let Paula see. Oh, you poor boy.
Yeah.
That mean old bee. Here, let Paula rub the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Is it feeling better? Shall we go?
Do we have to?
I'll get my coat.
Paula,
Yes?
do we have to leave right away?
Well, if we don't, we'll be late for the game.
Heck, this is better than baseball. Say, I wonder.
Well, Throckmorton, where are you going?
Out on the porch. Bee. Oh, bee. Here I am. Come back. Darn bees. Roll the door open, Bertie.
I'm holding the door.
Oop, look out. Get away. Just made it in from the garage. Those confounded bees were right behind me.
You ain't been stung in a couple of days, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know if you're speeding up or the bees are slowing down.
Well, I've had all of this I can take. I'm through being a target for that squadron of honey chasers. Leroy!
What is it, Unc?
Leroy, that beehive has got to go.
But you said I could keep it. I paid $5 for it. It's a business.
Well, you'll never make any money out of it. Never. If you're smart, you'll get rid of it right now.
I don't want to get rid of it.
Look, my boy, I'll give you $5 to take it away.
$5? That's what I paid for it.
Well, you'll never make any money on those bees. I'll give you $6.
No, I don't think so.
Leroy, you'll never make a profit of them. I'll give you $10.
No.
Confounded Leroy, there's no money in bees. I'll give you $15.
Make it 20 and you got a deal.
You're all right, 20. There's your money. Now go out and buy something that will bring a return on your investment.
5, 10, 15, 20. Well, I know what I'm going to buy.
What?
4 more hives of bees.
What a boy. Good night, Ted.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Gene Bates, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Leroy always has a way to turn a buck, doesn't he? April 16th, 1952, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Alrighty, Ted over at RadioMemories.com providing us an episode of Lum and Abner. This episode deals with the cans, and the cans with no labels, and how Grandpa's figured out what's in them. Let's get back to this episode of Lum and Abner, April 16th, 1953.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge.
Hi there, this is Dick Huddleston again. Well, the great grab bag sale at the Jot 'em Down store, after a wonderful start, is now heading towards disaster. Grandpap started guessing what was in the unlabeled canned goods and thus getting them free according to the rules of the sale. When he started toting stuff away in wheelbarrows, why, Lum had to threaten him with an injunction to keep him from bankrupting the store. Well, Grandpap ain't been back, but they're still having trouble with the sale. Let's go over the store and I'll show you what I mean.
Well, come in again, Miss Blevins. Glad you had such good luck.
What do you mean, glad she had such good luck? Long if this keeps up, me and you are going to be out of business by sundown.
I know it. What do you reckon's got into folks around here? They all can't be that lucky.
Doggies, no. Out of the last dozen customers we've had in here, I bound you every one of them's guessed right on 4 out of 5 cans.
Yeah, up till today, hardly anybody ever got one right.
No.
Except Grandpap, of course.
Farm it.
Looks like now it never done us much good to run him out of here.
No. Did you get that injunctions out against him?
No, I never actually aimed on doing that. Just said that to scare him. Had to keep him out of here some way.
Yeah, well, it worked. He ain't been back here since. He sure was mad when he left out of here yesterday, though, weren't he?
Yeah, we probably oughtn't to have laid it on to him so strong. But with him, that's about the only way you can get any results. But now, with the way everybody's guessing, we're worse off than we was when we just had him to put up with.
Doggies, I just don't understand how they're doing it. Looks like me and you are the only 2 fellers in this whole place that can't figure out what's in them cans. Yeah. And we're the owners.
I was noticing there's some numbers and letters stamped on the bottom of some of them cans, stamped right in the middle. Just wondering if they could tell anything by that.
What does it say on them?
Oh, just don't say nothing, just different numbers and letters. I couldn't make nothing out of them.
Well, neither Grandpap or any of them that's been in there today, Lum, don't look at the bottoms of the can.
No, that's right, ain't it?
No, they just stand there and point a can out and say, tomatoes. When they get it open, that's what it is, tomatoes.
Yeah, that blame, I can't figure it out.
They don't even pick up the cans and shake them like they used to.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
No, just... Wait a minute, there comes another customer. Just watch how they do it now, Lum.
Yeah, there's bound to be some trick about this.
Oh, that's Mousy Gray there.
Well...
Howdy, Mousy.
Yeah, come on in, Mousy. Haven't saw you in months.
No.
Where you been keeping yourself?
Oh, just at home doing the housework.
Yeah? What can we do for you today?
Well, I just wanted some canned goods.
That's what I figured.
Gussie sent me over.
Well, natural.
Yes, sir.
Well, all right, Mousy, go ahead. Take your pick.
Yeah, what are you going to choose? I'm going to watch this one.
Mousy, do you want to look at the bottom of the cans for any reason?
Oh, no, sir. I'll, take that one right there on the lower shelf.
This one here, huh?
Yes, sir. Canned corn, cream style.
All right. Here you are, sir. Abner, open it up.
Yeah, give it here.
I see you brung 2 fruit jars with you, Mousy. You must be wanting something else.
Yes, sir. I'll take that can on the end of the middle shelf there. It's apricots.
All right. Here's another one for you to open, Abner. What's in that first one?
Canned corn, natural.
Cream style?
Of course.
Well, hurry up with that other one, Abner. Here, Mousy, you'll have to pour the stuff into the fruit jar yourself.
Yes, sir.
Say, Mousy, just
It's apricots, Lum.
It is, huh?
Yeah, hand me that other jar. I'll pour it for you.
Mousy, would you mind telling me just how did you know how to guess what was in these cans?
Oh, well, it's just luck, I guess, Lum.
Luck, huh?
Yes, sir. Guess this is just my lucky day. It must be because Gussie got up early this morning so I could make up the bed before going downstairs to fix breakfast for her. Sometimes she's so thoughtful. Well, I better be getting home. Don't want to change my luck. So long.
Well, wait a minute. You ain't paid us for... Or no, that's right. You get the stuff free long as you guess right. Look, come back again, Mousy.
But not too soon. Doggies, he didn't miss A1. Generally, they miss 1 or 2 leastways.
Yeah, I wonder if it could be just luck.
With everybody doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, that couldn't be, Lum.
Well, it is hard to believe, but in anything that has a chance to it, you always got to reckon with the law of averages. And at first, everybody
was... What law is that?
Law of averages. See, at first, everybody was missing, so now it's changed to where they're all guessing right. Or most of the time there.
Well, I've never heard of that law before. When did they pass that?
Oh, they never passed it, Abner.
Voted it down, huh? We better tell the folks around here, then.
No. The idea is... Wait a minute, there comes another customer. No, it's just Cedric.
Now, doggies, if that Cedric comes in here and guesses right, then I'll agree with you. It is just luck. 'Cause he couldn't figure out nothing for himself. Howdy, Cedric. You coming in to buy some canned goods?
Yes, Mom, I sure am. Boy.
All right. What do you want? What are you going to pick?
Oh, I'm going to take, well, I'll be doggone.
What's the matter?
Oh, I'll be back later. So long.
Well, here, wait a minute, Cedric. I reckon what got into him.
No telling.
Maybe he just heard that law was voted down. What'd you call it?
The law of averages, but that ain't no law like you vote on, Abner. It's just something that is.
Huh?
I mean, well, it's like the law of gravity.
Gravities?
Yeah.
Well, I never heard of that law neither. Was that voted down, too?
No, it's...
What's that about, Lum? Gravel? Hauling gravel on the main road or something?
No, gravity ain't got nothing to do with gravel. It's the law that says if you throw something up in the air, it comes down to the ground.
Well, there's the silliest law I ever heard of. Who in the world got that up? Everything just naturally comes down if you throw it up in the air.
That's what I mean. That's just the way things actually are, a natural law.
They don't need to pass no law for it, though. That's what we're paying taxes for. I'm going
Abner, can't you get it through your head that I don't mean that kind of a law? Now, just hush up and I'll explain it to you.
Well, go ahead. Wait a minute. There comes Cedric back again.
Now, I reckon where he went to, anyway.
No telling. What happened to you, Cedric?
Oh, nothing. Just forgot something's all. Oh, let's see. I'll take that can right there. Ripe olives. Jumbo mammoth size, I believe. I think.
This one here, huh? All right. We'll just open it up and see.
Oh, you needn't bother to open it up. That's what's in it all.
Oh, no. You don't get away with that now.
Just a minute, Cedric. What makes you so sure you know what's in that can?
Oh, just know is all. I'm a good guesser.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that in just a second here. Doggies, it is olives, Lum. Here, take it, Cedric. Did you bring a fruit jar with you?
No, Mom, I'll just eat 'em this way. I just wish peanut butter come in cans, though. Well, so long. I'll be in again when I need something else.
I'd still like to know why he come in here once and then went right out again. Wonder if that had anything to do with him guessing right.
I don't see how it could.
Well, there's got to be some way he did it, Lum. I know it ain't that law you was telling me about, the one on that gravities. Cedric don't know what laws they passed and what ones they ain't.
Well, just sit down and let me explain that to you, Abner.
Good.
Gravity just means that everything, when it falls towards the earth. It ain't got no regular law like they got in statute books.
Well, I'm glad you finally admitted to it.
It was discovered by a feller named Isaac Newton, I think. You've heard of Isaac Newton, ain't you?
Oh, sure. He's that fisherman they always tell about.
No, that was Walton.
Walton Newton?
No, Isaac Walton.
Oh, well, who's this Newton fella you was talking about?
Well, he's the fella that discovered gravities. The idea that things fall downwards.
You mean before that things fell up? Oh, 'cause he started a good thing there. Something started falling upwards where you never would find it.
No, they had it before then, but he was the one that figured it out.
Well, law me, Lum, it don't seem to me it'd take much brains to figure that out.
No, but you see, he was the one that give it that name of gravity, I think. Figured out a big, long rigmarole about it. See, one day he was sitting under a tree, and an apple fell down and hit him on the head, and that's when he decided right then and there that was the law of gravity.
Oh, can't put no dependence on what he'd tell you.
Well, why can't you?
Lum, a feller that's just been whopped on the head, you can't take his word for nothing.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Abner. Isaac Newton was a famous scientific, and he... Well, for goodness sakes, I wonder what's the matter with Miss Pomeroy.
Somebody hit her on the head with an apple?
No, she started to come in the store then, and all of a sudden she stopped and headed around to the side.
Huh.
That's the same direction Cedric went in. Look out the side window there, Abner, and see if you can see anything.
All right. Don't see what there is out there to see, but I'll look.
I don't know, but it just seems peculiar to me that she would start in here the way she did and then...
Well, I'll be dad blame, Lum. There's Grandpap out there.
Grandpap?
Yeah, he's sitting on a camp stool, and he's talking to Miss Pomeroy. See him there?
Yeah. Well, what's that peculiar-looking thing standing beside him there?
That's Mrs. Pomeroy.
No, I mean, Granny, that's a telescope. That's what that is.
A telescope?
Yeah, and he's got a sign up there, too. Says, Granny's, I can't read it. Can you make it out? Your eyes is better than mine.
Says, stop here for advice on how to get your canned goods free.
10 cents a tip.
Well, I'll be dad blame. He said he'd get even with us. I grannies he's doing it.
But the big question is, how is Grandpap figuring it out? I mean, there's no labels on the cans. None whatsoever. The only thing that would have a clue is what's on the bottom. The codes would give you a clue. But I don't know, Grandpap has figured out some method here of knowing what's exactly in all these cans. I don't know. The episode from April 16th, 1953, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now, I want to remind you, our friend Ted over at RadioMemories.com has supplied us all these Lum and Abner shows you're hearing. And if you go visit Ted at RadioMemories.com, that's RadioMemories.com, Ted provides the shows on cassette, CD, or on flash drive for your computer, fully restored in excellent digital quality at excellent prices as well. RadioMemories.com. That's RadioMemories.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd ask you also to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. Now, if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at our webpage. Also, guidance as to where you can find our shows for downloading through podcast apps. That's at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. All 21 hours a week of classic radio theater are there for you to stream. You can find our social media links. And you can also, if you'd like to help us, you can buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio programs to bring to you here. And also, it helps us maintain our distribution channel so we can keep coming to you. That all is at classicradio.stream, and we thank you for your support. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.